everyone, welcome to ZETA IAS. Today we are going to discuss about a kingdom which was very powerful. Its navy controlled the sea, its temples still stand as wonder of architecture, and its rule lasted for centuries. We are talking about Chola Dynasty which lasted from 9th century to 13th century CE. Now let's begin the topic Chola Dynasty. First we will discuss about Cholas. The beginning. Now a minor chief family called Mutayyar, ruled in the region of Kaveri, the Kaveri Delta region, under the control of Pallava kings of Kanchipuram. They were under control of Pallava kings of Kanchipuram. Pallava kings of Kanchipuram. Vijayalaya Chola, who belonged to an ancient family of Chola, he defeated Mutayyar. He belonged to the ancient Chola family of Urayar. Ancient family of Chola in Urayar. He defeated Mutayyar and established his kingdom in the powerful city of Tanjavur, and built a temple of goddess Nishambusudini. This began the rule of Chola dynasty. Vijayalaya started the Chola dynasty rule. Next, we will read about the spread of Chola dynasty. It spread across the state of Tamil Nadu, parts of Andhra, Karnataka, Sri Lanka, and Southeast Asia. So, the Chola dynasty, I'll show you the map. See, this was the region of rule of Chola dynasty. Whole region. You can see the highlighted part of the map. This was the region of Chola dynasty. Now we will study about the prominent Chola kings. The prominent Chola kings. So, the most powerful Chola king was Rajaraja I. He was considered as the most powerful Chola king, Rajaraja I, who reigned from 985 CE to 1014 CE. He reorganized the administration of Chola kingdom. He reorganized the administration and he increased the influence of Chola dynasty to other countries. Increased the influence of Cholas across Indian Ocean. Famous temples of Bridheswara, temple was built by Rajaraja I. And the great living Chola temples were also built by Rajaraja I. Great living temples which are recognized under UNESCO World Heritage. Okay, this is about Rajaraja I. Next, we will read about Rajendra I. Rajendra I he was the son of Rajaraja I. Whose reign was from 1014 CE to 1044 CE. Okay. He continued Rajaraja I's policy and invaded Ganga Valley. His contributions were like he invaded Ganga Valley. He invaded and sent expeditions to countries like Sri Lanka, He also developed the powerful navy, which is very popular, very famous in Chola dynasty, powerful navy, and he also built the city of Ganga Konda Cholapuram. Okay. So this is about two prominent rulers of Chola dynasty, Rajaraja I and Rajendra I. Next, we read about the beautiful, splendid temples which were constructed in Chola dynasty and which are finest, yet they are finest in the world today. Splendid temples. Rajaraja I and Rajendra I built big temples in the city of Tanjavur and Gangai-Konda Cholapuram. Big temples were built in the city of Tanjavur and Gangai-Konda Cholapuram. They are marble structure. Okay. They are marble structure and these temple became nuclei of settlement which grew around them. These temples were not only the place of worship, they were also place of social, economic, culture. Okay, and lot of land were also endowed to them by rulers. Lot of land around temple was endowed by the rulers, which was used, which produce the produce of this land. The produce of this land was used to maintain people who were working in the temple and who were living around the temple. Like of the land were used to maintain people who were living around the temple and working for temple, like priest, sweeper, dancer and musicians. Thus, this place was not only the place of worship, as I said before, it was a center for economic, social and cultural life also. Now, amongst the craft that were produced in temple, the making of bronze image was the most distinctive. The bronze image that was made during Chola period, bronze image, it was the most distinctive and Chola bronze images are still considered amongst the finest in the world. It is considered as finest in the world. Most image was of deities and some were of devotees also. The images were of deities and devotees also. Now, Chola dynasty had a very unique system of irrigation and it had a very developed agriculture. Agriculture and irrigation. Lot of new developments were made possible in Chola dynasty because of the development in agriculture. That means the people, the ruler, they took active interest in the development of agriculture and irrigation. So, Let's go back to the map. As you can all see, the area around the Kaveri, it has many channels. See, it has many channels. This. Okay. It has several channels, small channels, before emptying into Bay of Bengal. So, it must be emptying lot of fertile soil, fertile silt here. It must be depositing it here, making the land very fertile for the crops. And the water channel must be providing moisture also. So, this moisture is good for what? It is good for the cultivation of rice. Hence, agriculture could develop very efficiently in the Chola period, in this entire area. Agriculture was developed in the other parts of Tamil Nadu, but around 5th and 6th century, it took an advancement. Around 6th, 5th and 6th century, it took an advancement. So, what was the advancement for agriculture? As the agriculture was flourishing in the area, lot of forests were cleared, to make space for agriculture, right? And land was leveled, canals were constructed to carry the water, and embankments were built to prevent flooding, and after some time we see a pattern of 2 crops that were grown in an year. 2 crops were grown in an year. This was the agricultural advancement that was made during 5th and 6th century in the Chola dynasty. Now let's talk about the irrigation also. As you can all know that agriculture cannot flourish without proper irrigation. Irrigation is an essential part of agriculture. So variety of methods were used for irrigation, like wells were dug in area which were deficit in water, and huge tanks were constructed to save water, huge tanks for collecting rainwater. So these were some efficient irrigation techniques that were used in Chola dynasty, and rulers and villagers took active interest in participating about organizing these resources, maintaining and deciding how water is to be shared. Next, we come to an important topic, administration. How was the administration during the Chola period? The settlement of peasants was called Ur. Settlement of peasants was called Ur. They were prosperous with the spread of irrigation and agriculture. And this group of such village were called, formed a block which was known as Nadu. Formed a large group of villages, group of Ur formed a block which was known as Nadu, and Nadu plus the village council was also there. They also existed. Their role was dispensing justice and collecting tax. So first comes Ur, a group of peasant, and settlement of peasant is called Ur. Now that group of Ur formed a block named as Nadu, and Nadu plus the village council, their function was dispensing justice and collecting tax. Rich peasants, they also exercised some power, control over the affair of the Nadu under the supervision of Chola government. Rich peasants also exercised control. Rich peasants also exercise control over affairs of the village under central Chola government. And Chola kings also gave some titles to rich landowners like Muvendavelan was given to who served three kings and Arayar means chief. Muvendavelan, who served three kings, he was peasant, basically वही rich landowners, and Arayar, who was the chief, and these titles were given out of respect, and they were also given important offices of the state at the center. These titles were given out of respect and offices that were given to them under the Chola government. This was the administration from the grassroots level till the Chola center government. Next comes the types of land. The types of land that existed during the Chola period. First was Velan Vegai. We get to know about types of land from inscriptions. First was Lilan Vegai. It was for non-Brahmins. It was for non-Brahmins and they were peasant proprietors. Second was Brahmadei. These were land that was gifted to Brahmins. Third, Sthalabhog. It was land given for the maintenance of school. Land for maintenance of school. And fourth, Devdana. It was land given to Jain institution. Jain institution. This also shows that Jainism existed in Tamil Nadu under the Chola dynasty. So D. Devdana, this was land given to temples. Land it was given for temples. E. Palichandam. Palichandam. It was land given to Jain institution. To Jain institution. These were the type of land that existed during Chola period, and this also shows that Jainism existed during Chola period also. A very distinctive feature that existed during the Chola period was Sabha. Now what is Sabha? Sabha is one of an efficient administration system that existed. Administration system. It was each Brahmadev was looked after an assembly or sabha of prominent landholders. So this was kind of assembly which was looked by prominent Brahmin landholders. It worked in a very efficient way, like separate committees were made. Separate committees were made for irrigation, agriculture, and garden, temple, etc. So there was creation of a committee to delegate the functions, and when a new member had to be admitted, then what was the procedure? The names of the eligible candidate, names were of the eligible candidate, it was written on a small ticket of palm leaf. It was written on small ticket of palm leaf, and it was kept in an earthen pot. It was kept in an earthen pot, and a young boy was asked to take out the ticket one by one for each committee. When a member had to be admitted in the committee, that person's name had to be written a small ticket of palm leaf, which was put into the earthen pot, and it was taken out by a young boy, each one by one by the according to the committee. Okay, and their decisions were recorded in detail as inscription on stone walls or temples. So this is how the Sabha worked, and Association of Traders were called Nagarams, which occasionally performed administrative functions in town. Occasionally they performed. Next, we find the evidence about all these things through inscription. Inscriptions play an important role about the spread of knowledge and the culture and social economic situation conditions that existed during the dynasty, during the period. So the inscription from Uttaramerur in Chingleput, which gives the detail how the Sabha was organized, and example, the inscription of Uttaramerur. Uttaramerur gives how the Sabha was organized. The inscription about Periya Puranam. It tells about the lives of ordinary men and women. Mostly all the inscriptions, they tell about the life of rulers and the social economic conditions that existed. The inscription of Periyapuram, it tells about the lives of ordinary men and women. This is all about Chola Dynasty in brief. Do give a read of this chapter. It's an important topic in ancient and medieval history. I hope this helps, and happy learning.